Welcome back, everyone, to the Colorado Rockies franchise. MLB Draft ready to rumble. Here we go. We've got the number 4 overall draft pick. Really excited to get this episode underway, guys, because we do have trade deadline moves included in this video, but that's a little bit towards the mid part of the vid. We'll also sign our draft picks as well, so you guys get to see how we did. All right, let's get into it. Number 6 ranked player on our board, Jermaine McClendon, is going to go number 1 overall to the Nationals. Number 2 pick is Luke Dennis. Now, we only had him 69% scouted. He was 36th ranked on our board. He goes number 2 overall to the Los Angeles Angels. Number 3, Ray Kerr. He's a raker. He rakes. I think they got themselves a pretty darn good player. What do you guys think? Leave them in the comment section below. So those are your first 3 picks of the MLB Draft. Unfortunately, we don't get a cool little animation like that. We'll get one, but it's not as cool. Which leaves us with a conundrum. Another big word for you guys today is conundrum. I think I mentioned that in a couple episodes ago. But Andrew Landis, the projected number 1 overall draft pick. He's number 1 on our board, not scouted, because again, we were focused on pitching. He's also number 1 across the major leagues. He's available. So nobody took him, which kind of gives me a little caution. I think we'll stick to our game plan here. We got a lot of really nice pitchers that are available to us. Felipe Luis, number 2 on our draft board. However, Juan Nava rated 3rd on our draft board. Plus, he's got the draft rank of 4th. And I kind of like to compare and contrast a little bit, because then it kind of shows us, do we like a guy or are we getting fooled by some of our scouting? Right? I think of the scene from Moneyball with Billy Beane talking to his scouts, and those scouts like a certain guy, but he doesn't. Like, that's what I feel like I'm battling right now with some of our scouts. Do I trust their ranking? That's the question here, because the MLB seems to have rated these guys accordingly, right, in their own style of ranking. Samuel Moreno, another guy that could potentially be a bust, maybe a C potential player. We can't take those guys in the first round. A guarantee would be Freddie Tompkins, 87 minimum potential, and then a 98 maximum potential. That's really speaking to me. However, I just feel like I might be reaching for that guy. Like, the potential might be nice, but the overall rating might be a little lacking. So Juan Nava, it's now or Nava. We're going to take him right here. The reason being, I know I've talked a lot about not liking 3-pitch pitchers. The potential's a 78 to 96, 95, 96 maximum. I like that. I think we can deal with that, because there's other guys up there like Sammy Moreno going to the Pirates, Adrian Gonzalez going here to the Marlins, Monty Vargas, Kyle Griffith, Andrew Landis, the number 1 overall consensus pick, dropping and falling all the way to the Giants. And then you got Rocky Rodriguez going out here to Boston. There's just some question marks on some of these guys. Freddie Tompkins, again, would have been the safe pick, but the draft rank was 21st. Our rank was 7th. I was a little bit leery on that. And again, a 3-pitch pitcher, maybe that's something that we're going to regret. But we'll see. There might be some battles happening there in the NL West. You got the Giants taking Andrew Landis, the number 1 consensus guy. And then now you got the Diamondbacks taking one of the guys that we were really, really interested in. So competitive balance round A, we don't have a pick here, but we see guys like Martin Polanco, Felipe Luis, guys that we had up on our boards here, Wade Hayfie, those guys being taken by other MLB clubs. So they're not going to fall to us. I was hoping that maybe in round number 2 that they would. Then we got Ricky Ibar here in round number 2. Some other guys here like Alex Montanez, 6'2", 18 years old, 5-pitch pitcher. I like that. I like that a little bit more than Juan Nava. You know, Juan Nava's a little safer than Montanez, but you feel me? You get what I'm saying here. Kevin Hollis, that's the guy that I got my eye on. I don't think I'm going to take him here in round number 2, though. I'm hoping that he falls to round 3 or competitive balance round. So we're going to take Ricky Ibar. Feel like that potential 82 to 99, at least a B, could be an A. So I love that pick right there. Alex Montanez got a big gap there, 75 to 95. If we had just scouted him just a little bit further, I'd feel a little bit more comfortable here, but another 5-pitch pitcher. And then on this other side, you got Kevin Hollis here, who's also kind of like Freddie Tompkins in that sense that he's a guaranteed B plus A potential guy. So we'll take Montanez in the hopes that maybe Kevin Hollis is going to fall. And you can see that he's still there. And I'm not wasting any time You do have Christian Fontenot here. I kind of like where he's at, but we're going to take Hollis right here, right now. We're not going to allow another team to go get him. And I think a lot of teams passed up on him because of the MLB rank being not ranked. So we might have found a nice little sleeper there with Kevin Hollis. Christian Fontenot will be the next pitcher taken. So we have not taken a positional player yet in this draft. We got 2 rounds left, round 5, round 6. I'm eyeing some of the catchers that we were looking at. Nothing's really standing out to me, at least as far as the value of a pitcher and the value of one of those positional players that are left. So we're going to take another starting pitcher here, Jeremy Kirby. He's just a depth guy. I'm not really anticipating much from Jeremy Kirby, but we do end up finding David Casto, a 90% scouted catcher here, and he's at least a C potential. So you know what? I'll take that. Round 6 C potential guy, just kind of sitting in there. We'll take that. We'll definitely take that all day. So now that we're done with the draft, I hope you guys enjoyed that little quick, brief review of all of our draft process and thoughts and how it all shook out. So we'll get into some trades, we'll sign our draft picks, and then we'll be able to kind of reveal how we did versus the rest of the league. But first things first, I want to show you, for immersion purposes, who made our all-star team. Who was the representatives for the Colorado Rockies? We got Tyler Kinley, 22 save man. So he's our lone pitcher. We got former Rocky, Elias Diaz, 34 years old. I didn't realize he was that old. Kind of crazy. And then we got Tovar. So Tovar is probably not going to play, but hopefully he does get into some of that all-star action. We're not going to show the all-star game here or the home run derby. Of course, we didn't have anybody in the home run derby this year. The American League is going to beat the National League. Go figure that. NL team looked a little weak, just a little bit weaker than the AL side. Of course, when you got Shohei Ohtani, I guess you're pretty strong as it is, but hey, they got the dub. So now looking at the futures game, only one representative here. I will show you the pitching staff and the offensive side, but we only got one rep. It's Chase Dollander. Again, 23 years old. He's up to a 70 overall pitcher now. I think when we first started this franchise series, he was a 67. So about halfway through the year, a B potential guy, +3 in an overall rating. I'd say that that's pretty good. A lot of times in MLB The Show, at least in the past couple of seasons, regression and progression, especially guys with B potentials and C potentials, didn't progress really that fast. So I'm kind of happy to see that. But we're past the All-Star week. We've got trades and signing our draft picks, of course. Mark Canha is being offered for Jose Quintana. And I'm like, the dude hasn't even played in 2025. He has not played this entire season. I don't want anything to do with that. That's kind of defeats the purpose of me even bringing Jose Quintana into the house here. We want to trade him for prospects. So we'll have to offer up some more deals here, but we'll put our first 3 picks up here for signing. We're not really going to mess around with Juan Nava here. I want to bring him in. I don't even want to get into any sort of negotiations. He's already pretty motivated to sign at 76%. He'll decide to sign up with us, and I'm really excited to see what his overall rating is. What are his true attribute ratings there as well. We got Montanez to sign with us. We're going to get Ricky Ibar to sign with us. Those are the 3 top picks that I really wanted to bring in. And newsflash, we got everybody. So we signed up everybody with those, the guys I really wanted to focus on. Another trade they're offered to us. We're going to decline Kyle Freeland here for Sam Moll. We're going to decline that one as well. And this one's actually catching my eye just a little bit. Adrian Morejon for Kyle Farmer. I kind of want to do this trade, but it's against my rules. I'm like, it's like Batman. I've got rules here. I'm not going to kill. I'm not going to trade with an interdivision rival. It's not going to happen. Plus, I look around the Padres lineup and they're in the middle of a playoff chase, and I'm looking around and I'm like, they don't really need Kyle Farmer. There's really no room for him to even be a piece on your playoff push. So I'm going to do it for the Padres. I'm looking out for them. I'm going to decline. Same thing here with Kyle Freeland for Connor Joe. We don't need Connor Joe. I think Freeland's a little bit more valuable than what Joe can bring us, so that's not going to happen. And then this one came along. Ryan McMahon for Cole Young. And now they're speaking my language. The Mariners are speaking my language here. 65 overall player, B potential, former first-round draft pick in 2022. So he's still fairly young at 21 years old. On the surface, it seems like an unfair trade, but the Mariners are in a playoff push right now. Ryan McMahon is 30 years old. He's only going to start regressing here later on in life. and they need a third baseman. But I feel like I'm ripping them off, and I don't feel like this is a trade that would happen in real life. So I'm going to throw in Kyle Farmer into the deal here, because again, the Mariners need a little bit more offensive help, so they're going to need some veteran guys in there. But I need something else back, and I've always liked Emerson Hancock. I think he's got a bright future for the Mariners. So I want to include him into the deal because I like his break ratings. I like the pitch repertoire that he's got. He'd be a nice fit for what we're trying to do with this pitching staff, trying to be a little bit more ground ball-y in Coors Field, got some strikeout stuff, so on and so forth. I'm going to also throw in Benny Montgomery, a center fielder, and it looks like they're going to take this deal. I think that it works. I think that Mariners are getting better. We're getting better for what our goals are. And that opens up some doors now for Chase Dollander to get the call up. And you can see as we've simmed along here in the month of July, he's actually accrued a little bit more stats. He's upwards of 100 strikeouts now. He's now 5-7 on the season down there in the minor leagues. I think it's a great trade for us. The thing with Cole Young at this point, I don't know if I really want him to be on the 26-man roster or we're going to put him down in the minor leagues to kind of grow up a little bit more in that role. But I think we'll have to see kind of how this is all going to fare out once we make all of our moves. Now, pushing out Jose Quintana in the trade suggestions, I'm getting some crazy things here. Like the Red Sox offered me all these guys for Jose Quintana. And then this one, Spencer Jones, one of the Yankees' top prospects for Jose Quintana. I'm like, I'm going to save you from yourself. And as much as I hate the New York Yankees and I would love to rip them off, I got a franchise series to run. I got to entertain you guys. I got to make sure that the things I'm doing are fairly realistic, somewhat realistic for what we're experiencing in our seasons. And I think going after a guy like Oswaldo Cabrera, still fairly young, utility man, I think he offers some value. And then Brando Maella, international prospect that the Yankees spent a ton of money on to go get him. 57C, 19 years old. In order to get something, you got to give something up. And that's a pretty valuable piece for them, but I feel like Quintana, maybe another piece to this mix, might get the deal done. Plus, I really like Cameron Eden, defensive center fielder, got enough speed. I watched gameplay of this guy, and dude, he is fast. He's got a really nice glove. He's got some really good range. He's a solid player. I think he fits nicely for what we're trying to do in building this defense outward, right? We're trying to build the defense. We're trying to build this team into a ground ball team, speed and defense. That's our name of the game. So I think we're going to pull that trade off. Plus, you guys saw that I put in Scott Alexander. So the Yankees get two left-handed pitchers, which is pretty valuable when you're trying to play matchups inside of the postseason. So you guys can see now with Quintana as the pinstripes, the Yankee pinstripes, and of course Scott Alexander in there, it helps them out on their 26-man roster. Same thing here with Ryan McMahon. He's now the starter out there for the Mariners, and then Kyle Farmer helps him out because Luke Raley's on the injured list. So it's two good trades with the Mariners and the Yankees. So we're going to officially put Dollander from the bullpen into our 5-man rotation, along with, of course, Emerson Hancock. And I think with those two moves right there, Dollander and Hancock, I think it's going to push out Kyle Freeland. The guy's 2-10, has not performed very well at all this season. I think it's the right move to make. And here we go. It is time for our draft class reveal. How did we do? I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we had the best draft class in the entire league. Juan Nava's a B potential player. I would love for him to be an A potential player, but you know what? We got two of those guys. We got Ricky Ibar and Kevin Hollis as both two A potential dudes. I would love the fact that if their overall rating was just into the 60s, mid-60s would have been nice, but you know what? I will take that all day. You got A potential, B potentials, I'm good with it. Plus even the C potential guys, they could be turning into some solid depth pieces for our organization. So I'm happy with it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you happy with our draft picks? Love to hear from you. And even looking across like the league, across the Dodgers, the Padres, you got a bunch of C's, D's mixed in there. Who else we got? Who else is going to challenge us? The Giants, they got 62B, Andrew Landis, and then everybody else is D's, and they had one other C. So we're actually going to go through every other team because I want you guys to see this, and I think it helps for immersion purposes. That way, any of these guys' names pop up in spring training in a couple seasons, or even just down the road in like season 7 or something in the major leagues, we kind of have an idea of how these guys came along and made themselves into something. But you know, Rocky, a little bit lower on the overall rating. He's a 63, I think it was, with a B potential. I think Juan Nava's a little bit better, at least where he's starting out as a 73 overall rookie, basically. I mean, you could call him up next year. He's ready to play. He's going to be that effective. So I think we made the right call, man, just looking across the league. Blue Jays had a pretty solid draft, too. Some B potentials in there, A potentials. White Sox, that's crazy. Like, you're picking towards the very top of the draft, and you got a lot of D's in there, man. Steven Papp was another guy we were looking at. So the Guardians had a pretty decent draft. I'm not going to give them very, very high marks because you do have a lot of those D guys in there. Tigers had one B potential player with Luis, pitcher that we were looking at. A lot of C's, some D's sprinkled in there. Royals, decent class. Nothing to write home about per se. Again, I still haven't seen anybody better. I still haven't seen anybody better. We got 2 A potential players. A couple B's mixed in there. I thought we did well, man. I thought we did really, really well. Astros, same deal. Luke Dennis, B potential player for the Angels. And I'm really also looking around for like generational players. I'm not seeing any like really high overall, great potential. Kyle Griffith was a pretty decent guy too. I think he's actually going to pan out to be something. Same thing here with Ray Kerr, the Raker. I think he'll be fine. Let's see what else we got. Rangers, again, some more C potential guys. Another B in there. Braves. Nothing really too special. Nothing too hot. Adrian Gonzalez, 69B. It's a decent pick. He'll be fine. A lot of 56, 60s for the Mets. Nothing to write home about. I'm still looking for Freddie Tompkins. I think of course, we're going to wait until he gets there to the Diamondbacks. But Jermaine McClendon's a 66B. So even the Nationals, they kind of missed. Like, Juan Nava was the best pitcher out of that whole group as a 73B. That's crazy. We got the steal of the draft right there. Plus Kevin Hollis, right? He was like a 90, 93 or something. Martin Polanco for the Brewers. Some more C potentials in there mixed in. Moreno's a 65B. Has an 87 potential. So again, Juan Nava was the best pitcher. Like, I'm just looking across these teams, and there's Freddie Tompkins. So 68A. That one kind of hurts a little bit. Maybe Freddie Tompkins was the guy we should have gone with, especially if we're thinking about adding in a 4th pitch for Nava. We could have done the same thing with Freddie Tompkins. Well, anyway, either way, it's going to be Nava against Freddie Tompkins in the future. I'm pretty positive about that with the Diamondbacks and Rockies rivalry. So guys, next time I will see you will be the end of the season push for our Rockies franchise for season 1. We're not going anywhere, so why not call up Chase Dollander for his major league debut against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Should be a very good one. Guys, leave a like if you like this thing. Let me know again in the comment section what you thought about the video. How do you think our draft went? And of course, all of the trades, how do you guys think that those went down? Let me know in the comment section below. I will see you guys next time for Dollander's debut and the ending of our season 1 season and a little free agent preview, a little off-season preview in the next episode. So in 2 episodes time, we will be finished with the off-season and all of our moves. Excited times ahead here for our Colorado Rockies. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Leave a like if you like this thing. As always, thank you so much for watching, and peace.